Well, guys, good morning from Jamie from Blood, Sweat and Metal. It's a Wednesday morning. Been absolutely freezing last night. It's our winter. But I have got an absolute special guest. He is a master on a guitar. He is a composer. He's a writer. He's a founding member for Sympathy X. And I'm talking to Michael Romeo. How you going, Michael?
I'm doing good, man. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, we're surviving with the cold weather. As I said, it's our winter. But let's
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. The
yeah.
cold weather always sucks, man.
I don't mind it. I mean, cold weather is cold weather, but it's been like this for the last couple of weeks, and yeah, we should kick it in the backside basically. So, but Symphony X has done an absolutely awesome job. They going to be releasing a new album via Nuclear Blast. It's coming to Australia very shortly. The album is titled Underworld, and I've got to say, Michael, the whole album from top to bottom gives me goosebumps, gives me chills. The guitars on this thing is absolutely, what can you say? It's
No,
almost,
that's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. And what's really good to hear is that the front to the back. I mean, we really were conscious of that. Like, the flow of the record was an important part from the beginning. Before even writing a note. We were thinking about the flow and of course, focusing on the songwriting but just trying to make it feel like an album. Every song in its own way was really strong, and so I'm glad, man. I'm glad to hear you picking up on that because that was a definite point that we tried to make going into the writing process, trying to really have the flow front and back and a good variety of stuff too. I mean, keeping the heavy stuff, keeping the guitar riffs on those kind of songs, and also having a lot of the melody and those kind of things, keeping some of the melodic stuff still in there, and just trying to mix it up. So no, I'm definitely glad to hear it, dude. That's awesome.
yeah, and I was about to say the guitars on this album is just like a machine. Like you said, you got the heavier side, you got the melodic side, you got all over. And a song that really inspires me. Not only is it the first single that was released, Without You, which was a lyric video on YouTube, but also Kiss to Death. That had to sound like a Pantera sound for me, a classic Pantera. I know you guys are not Pantera, you're simply the, but when I listen to that and get my ears around it, the riff in that song is just, oh, it's a classic gem.
Oh, you're thinking Kiss of Fire. Kiss of
Yeah,
Fire, you're thinking, right? That's the one.
Kiss a Fire. No, well,
Yeah, there's a little. Yeah, there could be a little Pantera. I mean, I grew up with a lot of that stuff, man. The big heavy riffs going back to Sabbath even, and
yeah.
obviously Pantera. So, yeah, man, some of that stuff comes out, and with that song, we knew what it was, where it would fall in the record, and lyrically, it would be darker, and it's going to be, it's freaking going to be heavy, man. So. Yeah, if it's going to be heavy, make it real heavy. The melodic stuff, sure, make it real nice and melodic, and just try to do the extremes, but still try to keep it in the same ballpark. It's a little tricky, but I think it all worked out.
Well, before I
Yeah,
go,
I love that song too, though.
yeah,
I love that song too, bro. That one's like fun to play 'cause it's just friggin' brutal.
yeah. Well, before I keep going on the album, I just want to ask, being a founding member, did you ever thought about how well and the gratification within the band and the exposure that you guys were going to get, like the status that you have got now? Do you ever thought when the band started out how well you guys were going to win the fans over? Like, because what I'm saying now in the music world, there's a lot of bands that will only be around for 5 years because of the way the music industry is. There's not enough labels out there, there's not enough money to circulate the band and keep it afloat. But
Yeah.
do you ever thought about the success that you guys were going to get later on down the track when you first started out?
I mean, to be honest, dude, to be totally honest, not really, because I mean, you want you want the band to do good. I mean, anybody that starts a band, you want the band to be able to keep doing records and be successful. And yeah, I mean, it's friggin' hard as hell now, especially the way the music business is today, so it's even harder. But now, man, I mean, back then, you start in a band and you just want to, jam on some riffs with the guys and try to work on the writing, and, you're just kind of taking it day by day. And it's like, well, I hope, the band will be together tomorrow. You never friggin' know, man. But yeah, no, you really don't think about it. I mean, we really didn't. We were, but of course you're hoping. You're hoping that things go well. You're hoping that your music is received well. You're hoping that you can tour. You're hoping that you can sell some more records the next time. I mean, like anybody. Yeah. But never really dwelling on it, never really dwelling on it. And, plus, when you were younger, it was like, you're just happy jamming, playing music, it's a little different,
Yeah. It's just great to see that you guys can go through what I call the waves of different times, you know what I mean? Because in the 90s, a lot of bands basically disappeared due to the new trend that was coming out. You had the grunge coming out in the 90s, and a lot of the bands from the 80s didn't even last, and they couldn't go with the change in time. And then we get into the new millennium. Most of those bands that we didn't see for about 15 years in that little period seem to sprout out again, and it's just awesome just to see there's a new wave of music coming throughout the metal world and the rock world. It's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like I said, every band just trying to keep going, and I think if you remain true to what you're doing, I think you'll do okay. Like when we first started the band, it's just like you said, man. It was like, grunge was big here in the 90s, and rap and all this other stuff, and we were playing shit that, nobody gave a crap about what we were doing because it, but we just wanted to do it. We were happy doing it, and then luckily, we got some interest from a Japanese label, and it just kind of went from there, and we always just did what we did, and eventually it worked out, so, yeah, I mean, but going back to our other thing, that we weren't thinking about, that far down the future. We were just like, damn, what can we do tomorrow that would help? So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we just kind of stuck to our guns, did our thing, and trends come and go, and there's always some new shit or something. But yeah, you just got to do what you want, what you feel is in your heart. You got to do the right thing.
I have to ask, how's Jason now? I mean, I know he bounced back from his heart failure back in 2013, but how's Jason been going now?
He's good. I mean, we've been actually rehearsing this week.
Yeah.
We were just kind of going over the songs and, brushing up on everything. And, we'll rehearse the songs, we'll record them, and then the whole recording process goes on for months and months. And then it's like, okay, well, let's remember what we all did, and let's, get back to rehearsing it and tightening it up. And so we've been doing that, actually, the last couple of days. It's been going good, man. It sounds really good. So the next big obstacle will be to figure out what songs we're playing, and that whole debate that begins, of what exactly we're going to do. But like I said, man, I think everybody in the band, we're pretty behind this record. I know we're all really happy with it. So I'm sure that the set list will have a pretty good amount of new stuff, and you always try to keep the fan favorites. But yeah, I mean, Jay, he said he felt great, and the last couple practices have been fantastic. So yeah, it's actually really good, man. It's really good news.
How will the new song go over with the fans? The reason why I'm asking this, not a lot of bands nowadays will put a lot of new material in the set list due to the fact that most of the concert goers are now casual fans, and the hit songs that they're known for is mainly in the set list. But how do you think the new song will go over the new crowd that come to your concerts?
I think it will be really, it won't even be an issue, to be honest. I mean, I could see if like 5 albums ago we had some big hit and we sold 1 million records and everybody's going to want to hear that song. but that's not really the case, you know. So, and we don't just put out albums all the time. I mean, we do take our time. It does take a little too long, you know, obviously. But, yeah, man, we put a lot into it, and to really have some quality stuff and it is for the fans. I mean, you know, obviously we're writing for ourselves, and you want to make yourself happy, but this one especially, you know, we were thinking of the fans, and, you know, there's the guys who love the Iconoclast record and the friggin' brutal riffs, and it's heavy, and then there's some other fans that like the melodic stuff and maybe a little more progressive. So just by consciously doing that and trying to balance the record with a little bit for all the fans, yeah, you know, it's to me, I think it would be smooth sailing as far as playing a lot of new material. And we never had any complaints, because every time we do a record, you know, we try to do a lot of the new stuff. I mean, what was the point of putting so much time into it if we're not going to play it, you know?
Exactly my point.
But yeah, I mean, of course you throw some, you know, some of the fan favorites in the set and some older material, and you do try to mix it up.
Yeah.
But this one I think might be a little different. I think this one will be well received all around, and I don't think there'll be any kind of
and saying that, Without You has basically captured the fans as well. It captured me. Are you surprised how well that single has taken off?
A little bit, yeah. But when we were recording that song, I mean, there's times throughout the records, over the years, there's always a song you do or a little piece or something that, you know, you get a little bit of goosebumps, the hair standing up a little bit on the back of your neck, or you just know it feels there's some magic happening. And on that song, I mean, actually quite a bit of moments on this record when we were recording or listening back, and it was like, damn, that's solid, man, that's good. And that song was one of them, you know, just the whole song, the melodies and just the arrangement and the way it flows. Yeah, we kind of knew. It's like, wow, this is really good, you know. I hope enough people hear it that could enjoy it. But yeah, I think it's doing great. I mean, obviously we're happy as hell that it's doing good. So we just hope, we can get a lot of folks to hear it and enjoy the music, you know, and just enjoy the song. But yeah, the better it does, I mean, it's just a very rewarding thing for the amount of time and energy and, you know, blood and sweat, if you will, that goes into these things. It's good to kind of have that payoff, that you feel like you've done what you set out to do.
Mm. Also, Underworld, the title track, that really is phenomenal. I mean, I can picture myself going down a highway and just hearing not just the sound coming through the volume of the speakers, but the way that was orchestrated and put together, it's just standard class all over that song. It really is.
That's awesome, man. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shit just got to feel good, man, you know? I mean, and that's a big thing, too, I think, from us doing this for so long and, you know, and putting these albums together. You know when something feels good, and you know when not to force nothing, or you know if it's good, you know, or you know if something's not working, you just move on. And, you know, like the big test is just kind of doing the song and listening back, and it's like, yeah, man, is this kicking ass or something ain't right? And if it kicks ass, it's like, all right, leave it. Don't fuck with it, you know?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's another. I really dig that song too. I mean, I like all the songs on this record. Like, honestly, I really think every one is really strong in its own right. You know, like Without You, yeah, I mean, it's very melodic, and it's, you know, a lot of acoustic guitar and for that kind of thing. But then, yeah, Kiss of Fire, where it kind of rips your head off a little bit. I mean, yeah, it's totally different, but it works, you know?
Yeah. Just a couple of questions, and we'll have to wrap it up. How would the tour plan out? Is there any major plans for you guys coming down this way of the woods, down Australia, or is that still early plans for you guys yet?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of places, Australia being one that we've never been to. And, you know, as we're putting together the tour into next year, yeah, I mean, a lot of these things are on our minds, and there's a lot of places we want to do. So, I mean, we definitely will be there at some point. We're going to make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, we have plenty of time, the next 2 years open to really put together a pretty extensive touring thing. So, yeah, I can't see why not. You know, I can't see why not.
Yeah. And just lastly, how do you think the music business is today? Like when people say that rock and roll is dead and that. I don't truly believe so. I truly believe the industry side of things, the business side of things is, but the music side of things is not dead. Just lastly, what's your opinion on that? Do you think the rock and roll thing's dead?
Oh, man. That's a hard question with a couple minutes left, dude.
Well, yeah.
It's definitely not cool, man. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people ask me, a lot of kid bands, how do I get going in the music business, and, what can I do? And it's just like, I don't even know what to tell them because it's so messed up, man. It's so difficult now. Yeah, but I mean, we've been hearing a lot of the same shit too. The rock is dead, and all this kind of shit. And the thing that really bothered me was I was hearing like the whole album is dead. Nobody wants to listen to a record. Everybody just wants like a little piece, and then they're going to go jump onto the next thing for 30 seconds and all this other kind of shit. And that was another big motivation for this record too. That's why it was, let's just make an album. Every song has its place. Every song has its meaning. The album has a flow. It's an album in the true sense of the word. It's not a bunch of singles. It was meant to be a whole record. And just because of the stuff that you're saying, the rock is dead and albums are dead and music's dead and all this other horse shit.
Yeah.
Nah, man, we're gonna fight it. We're gonna do our thing, and I guess we'll see. But it is tough out there, man. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of negativity in the music industry right now, and I know a lot of bands are struggling. I mean, everybody's taking a little bit of a hit. Us included, everybody. It's definitely a really hard time. Yeah. Hard time for bands.
And I'll be.
But yeah, this is a conversation for a day when we have a couple hours to talk, because there's so many. Yeah, there's so many things that contribute to this whole thing. But
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I don't think anything's dead as long as people are trying to keep it going. So
as long as
it's ultimately up to the it's ultimately up to the fans and the people who listen to music. And,
well, that's my.
So we'll see, man.
That's my job, being a fan as well. I'll keep raising the flag and raising the bar for you guys and the bands out in the world, because without our support, you guys won't be around, because it's the fans, basically, that keep it afloat. And as long as I'm here shouting out for people to go and get these albums, I'm doing my job. That's all I can say. But
yeah, no, dude. Yep, that's very cool, dude.
Yep. Well, Symphony X new album, Underworld, which will be out by Nuclear Blast, will be out on the 24th of July. Go and grab it. Put your hard-earned money. Buy the album. Do not illegally download, because otherwise I will come around your house and I will take away your food and your alcohol. But no. More importantly...
that's great, man. That's great.
More importantly, go and buy it. Put your hard-earned money back into to great music. And also, you can go to wowhd.com. You can go to all your independent record label stores in Australia, and also go to JB Hi-Fi. Michael, it's all the time we've got for, and I've got to say, man, it's an absolute pleasure. I cannot wait to hear more.
Yeah, man, same here, dude. Yeah, same here, dude. It was a pleasure, and it was some good stuff, man. We got into some great stuff here. This is awesome.
No worries, man. Guys, we're going to play You Without You from the latest album, and also have some more classic Symphony X tunes. So we're going to chuck in for you guys. So, Michael, I know you got a couple more things to do, so we've got to let you go now, man.
All right, man. Definitely great talking to you.
Thanks, man. Catch you later.